cornerback was one of the positions that we had hoped to address in the first few rounds.
Kansas City is now on the clock.
The Chiefs just traded up from 29.
Kansas City Chiefs select Trent McDuffie.
All right, let's take a look at what many people in Chiefs Kingdom think the Chiefs' regular season record's going to be, the Chiefs stealing Trent McDuffie from the Buffalo Bills and their reaction to us doing so, and Chiefs players switching jersey numbers, and much more. But first, how about those? What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Chiefs and the NFL overall. So hey, sub if you're new, hit that like button if you'd like to see me literally show up at your workplace and scream, how about those Chiefs, at the top of my lungs, and let's get into this news. Here in Chiefs Kingdom, I know we're not supposed to say anything nice about teams from our own division and all that, but I have a serious confession I need to make to you all. The Chargers' social media team might be the best in the entire league. Their schedule release video was absolutely spectacular. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's an anime style video and was very well done. And something else that was very well done, something we've recently even talked about on this channel, is they posted a thread on Pop-Tarts comparing some of their opponents to flavors that they think they represent. And some of my favorites were this: Russell Wilson's flavor being corn on the cob, Kyler Murray's flavor being mini crisps, because he's like 5'5", Trevor Lawrence's flavor being Croc Tarts, Tua Tagovailoa's, I don't know how to say his last name's flavor being aquarium gravel, and then you have Mahomes simply being a Pop-Tart with Heinz ketchup literally poured all over it. And I won't lie here, that looks absolutely disgusting and is pretty much a disgrace to all things Pop-Tarts, but hey, it was still pretty funny nonetheless. And then yesterday was Tyrann Mathieu's birthday. He turned the nice old age of 30, kind of old in the NFL, and he received birthday congratulations all across the board, from players to LSU, where he played at college, and to the NFL themselves. The NFL actually shared a hype video of the Honey Badgers saying one of the best safeties in the league turns 30 today. Happy B-Day to the Saints' new defensive back, Tyrann Mathieu. Well, this quickly took an interesting turn because Tyrann actually responded to this saying, "Numbers don't lie. Don't spend the rest of your life hating on me or trying to knock me. Let that hurt go. No need to constantly salt my name or talk down. If you ain't got nothing decent to say, don't say anything at all, because those you treat less than will be back on top soon." Many wondered what the heck he was talking about here, but before any clarity could be gotten from this, he deleted the tweet within a matter of minutes. Now, before we get going too far here, I do want to make it clear that this did not happen. Someone just paired a randomly weird yet common Tyrann Mathieu tweet, and voila, there you have it. It's completely out of context, but absolutely hilarious because it's something he may in fact have actually said, so had to share it with you all. But hey, happy birthday, Tyrann Mathieu. And since we're on the subject here of Tyrann, he was recently interviewed by Jim Rome of CBS Sports Network and was asked about when the Saints became an interest to Tyrann and when he thought that would actually happen. And I found his answer very interesting here and conflicting a bit with other things he said in the past. So let's listen real quick to what he had to say.
I started manifesting this maybe a year or so ago, man. I kind of knew that the Chiefs, weren't going to re-sign me. I think, I kind of knew that they wanted to go in a different direction, and, I was fine with that. I didn't really harp on it too much. I just kind of, kept praying, and, obviously, God put it on my heart to go back home.
He said, "I kind of knew the Chiefs wanted to go in a different direction, and I was fine with that. I didn't really harp on it too much." Well, Tyrann, I hate to break it to you, bud, but yes, you did harp on it too much. The definition of harp on is to talk about a subject constantly or repeatedly in an annoying way, and via Twitter, he was definitely very upset by this, talking about it often, arguing with fans, posting cryptic statuses, and even told Sam McDowell via an exclusive interview with the KC Star that he was absolutely heartbroken over it and would have probably taken Justin Reid's deal. So while I am happy for Tyrann and his homecoming to New Orleans, it's hard to know what to believe from this guy sometimes, if I'm going to be honest. But let's move on here because we have a few players so far, more incoming more than likely, who have changed their jersey numbers for this upcoming season. And you know, this is the off season when this is possibly the biggest Chiefs news that has happened since their rookie minicamp. But hey, let's have a wee little chat about it, shall we? The first on this list is Nick Bolton, who as a rookie wore the number 54, but with Tyrann Mathieu officially signed on with the Saints, jersey number 32 was available and he took it. This is the number he wore back in college at Mizzou, but to me, 32 always reminds me of Marcus Allen, even though I know many have worn that number throughout the years. And some of you may be sitting there listening to me talk about this saying,
"What the freak, bro? I just bought Nick Bolton's jersey last year."
And now you're wondering what on earth you're supposed to do with it. Yeah, well, I've got some good news for you. The Chiefs are doing a jersey buyback program if you buy his new jersey. All right, I just lied to y'all. That would never happen because the Chiefs are all about the Benjamins, baby. So it's basically tough luck buttercup to those of you who have that jersey. But here's another option for you. You could take the jersey, turn it around, put some duct tape over the name, and write the name Leo Chenal because he will now be wearing number 54. He was assigned 49 when he got to KC, but now that Bolton left 54 up for grabs, Leo indeed grabbed it. And finally, Josh Gordon, who previously wore number 19 here in KC, is switching to number 12, which is the jersey he wore at Baylor and also when he entered the league and played with the Browns. And in his second year in the NFL, homie had 87 receptions for 1,646 yards and 9 TDs. So I do like the number 12 on this man as it's reminiscent to the dominance he once had in the league, but sadly now does not. And with Josh Gordon vacating number 19, could this be the number that Juju Smith-Schuster reclaims? He has number 9 currently with the Chiefs, which was the number that he wore for the USC Trojans in college, but for the last 5 seasons with the Steelers, he wore number 19. So yeah, I would not be completely surprised if we see Juju wearing number 19, a number that is new. Okay, I'll never do that again, but since we're on the subject of Josh Gordon and Juju, can we talk wide receivers for a moment here? Because I don't even know if Josh Gordon is going to make this team, if I'm going to be honest with y'all. The wide receiver room is very competitive at the moment, to say the least. You have Mecole Hardman, Juju Smith-Schuster, MVS, Sky Moore, Cornell Powell, Justin Watson, Matthew Sexton, Omar Bayless, Corey Coleman, Doreese Fountain, Justin Ross, and finally Josh Gordon. And I count 12 guys at the moment, and they will have around 6 or so on the active roster with maybe 3 or so on the practice squad. So 3 of these guys in theory are going bye-bye. And, oh, hi, Maddie. I don't even know where I was in this video, but my daughter just scared the life out of me, snuck up on me like a literal ninja, was just suddenly right here. I did not hear her. So I'm going to leave that clip for your enjoyment. So, in theory, 3 of these guys are going to go like in sync. And when you look at the guys on this list and the names that are on there, can you tell me who's going to get cut? Because I certainly cannot. One question I do have though, which of these guys can play some serious special teams or would be willing to? Because when they shave 3 guys from this list like my bald head, that may be something worth considering. And then the Buffalo Bills recently released some BTS footage of their draft process, which included footage of them in their war room during round 1 of the draft. They were wanting a cornerback as well, and it very well looked like they wanted cornerback Trent McDuffie for themselves, because this video shows the moment the Chiefs traded up to pick 21 to get him.
Cornerback was one of the positions that we had hoped to address in the first few rounds. 2 guys went 3 and 4, and I was like, man, we're going to be trading out.
According to Ian Rappaport, Pacers are trading back.
New England has traded at 6. Kansas City is now on the clock.
Meanwhile, the Patriots just traded down. The Chiefs just traded up from 29.
Yeah, they did not look happy about that, to say the least. And look at this guy right here. He literally says, "Oh no," when they saw that the Chiefs traded up in front of them. And then you have their GM rubbing his face like, "This sucks, man. I could really use some coffee right now." And this guy on Twitter says this when a picture tells the whole story, which is hilarious, but I understand why it would be frustrating to them, because they couldn't have gotten to pick 21 even if they wanted to. The Patriots were not going to work with someone in their own division, a la the Buffalo Bills. And at pick 20, the Steelers were not budging, as that's where they selected their QB, Kenny Pickett. No fences. And then it started to get expensive quickly to move up into the teens. So basically, fortune was on our side with Trent McDuffie, because right after this, the Bills also made a move and traded up, ultimately grabbing Kyer Elam at pick number 23. The next best corner in line, basically confirming to me they wanted Trent McDuffie. The guys over at KCSN say that even though McDuffie is smaller than Elam, he is more talented at the position, which is why McDuffie was graded as one of the top corners in the draft class, and it looks like Brett Veach agrees with them. They could have moved up to grab Elam, but no, they wanted McDuffie. McDuffie was ours for the taking, and take we did, so let's freaking go. All right, there's a few polls floating out and about in Chiefs Kingdom where people voted for what they think the Chiefs' overall record is going to be at the end of this season. The first poll is from Chiefs Wire and has the highest number of votes landing on 12-5 at 28%. Then 13-4 is next at 22%, and finally 11-6 at 17%. Then you have the community post that I put up yesterday with a poll of my own in which 1,500 of you voted. So thanks for that. And here we have 13-4 with the highest vote at 31%. Then you have 12-5 closely behind at 29%, and then 14-3 at 24%. And then some other predictions. You have Casey Proctor from Arrowhead Attic predicting the Chiefs to go 13-4. And then you have the Chiefs going 13-4 as well based on the Vegas win odds if you split the pick'em games with 1 loss and 1 win instead of 2 ties. So it really looks like the majority of people are saying somewhere around 12-5 or 13-4 or somewhere around there. I could see that happening, but also would not be surprised if we went something like 11-6 but still made the playoffs and won a freaking Super Bowl. Let's go. But what I do believe is pretty doubtful to happen is the Chiefs going 17-0, even though there were multiple comments on my community post asking me why 17-0 was not an option. Here's why it wasn't an option, guys, because I'm trying to be realistic here. Given the difficulty level of our schedule, which is pretty freaking hard, it would be a miracle if the Chiefs went undefeated. Could they? Sure. But could the Jaguars also win the Super Bowl? Sure. Will they? Probably not. I'm sorry. Hate to break it to you there. From here, let's take a look at some of my favorite comments from yesterday because there were some good ones. Just G Dispatcher says, "You are so thorough, analyzing everything. I love your channel. Go KC." All right, someone give this man a raise because I really appreciate this comment more than you know. I'm up every morning at 3:55 a.m. to come down here and prep videos like this for you all, so thank you again. Badger Apocalypse says, "Chiefs go 13-4, splitting with both Raiders and Chargers, but stomping the Donkeys." And his comment got like 20 likes, so it appears a lot of you really like that idea as well. And I'm here for that. 100% would love to see it, especially with the hype that Denver got with acquiring Russell Wilson. It would be awesome to keep the defeat streak going, which would be like, 16 losses in a row? 18? I can't remember off the top of my head, but that would be lovely. Then you have Trent Daniel who says Chiefs 20-0, best defense and offense in the league, mark my words. So I can neither confirm or deny this, but Trent may have been slightly high when he typed this one out. Julio Rodriguez says, "Hey Cole, I just have to say I love your video and I watch your videos all the time. And I have a quick question. Do you think this will be Brady's last year, or do you think he'll be back for the 2023 season?" Well, I would like to think he hangs it up and does his thing as an analyst. I saw a report about his contract as an analyst, and it will earn him even more money than he made on the football field. He literally has nothing left to prove, 7 rings, and with his age, injuries are definitely more likely. He is going to become a little bit more brittle as time goes on. So I almost bet my soul he's done after this year, but I could be wrong. Jeremy Jones asks, "As I've never been, is there a difference between the barbecue on the Kansas side and the Missouri side? Keep up the great work. Love the channel." Thanks, bro. Right after this comment was posted, Rinspecs replies, "Do not go to Jack Stack Barbecue. Their sliced brisket tastes like bologna, aka bologna, and I've had generic dollar store brand steak sauce that tastes better than theirs." All right, first off, as you can already tell based on that reply, this is a very divisive topic, okay? First off, don't listen to Rinspecs. Jack Stack is pretty freaking good. In my opinion, I go there often, to be honest. Is it top 3? Nah, probably not for me. Is it overhyped? Yeah, slightly, but it's still a pretty good place to go. You can't go wrong there. And as far as the difference between barbecue on Kansas or Missouri, some people will disagree with me, but I'd say not really. It's all good. You really can't go wrong. They have great barbecue joints on both sides of the state line. Gates, Jack Stack, KC Joe's, LC's, Big T's, Rosedale, Arthur Bryant's, Q39. And there are plenty more good ones at that. Try them all. When you come here, stay a week. Do a different place for lunch and dinner every single day. Your blood pressure will skyrocket, but it'll be worth it. Tim Lang says, by the way, am I the farthest from KC? Ended up in Vienna, Austria. You can take the boy out of KC, but you cannot take KC out of the boy. Yeah, wow, Austria, what are you doing out there is my question. You hanging out with Arnold Schwarzenegger's distant relatives or something? That's awesome, man. Shout outs to you. Then we have a good buddy. Shane Glenn says, LOL, the NFL put out the strength of schedule for all 32 teams. KC is 5th. Period. I'm right. You're wrong. This schedule is not that brutal. You people are overreacting as usual. I'm not going to lie here. I don't think he watched yesterday's video in which I compared using the Vegas odds versus the schedule strength method of using last year's records, which do not factor in the offseason moves that have happened. So listen here, Shane, buddy, don't be so matter of fact on matters that are not so matter of fact. You come off as smug and a wee bit arrogant. My favorite part of his comment was, you people are overreacting as usual. First off, who the heck is you people? I'm just a bald guy with a beard making videos in my basement, homie. And second, you literally have 2 first names, Shane Glenn. So you have 0 room to talk here, okay? John Hatch says, Wichita Chiefs 2024. And this comment made me laugh yesterday because that's never going to freaking happen. But it's funny to think about. And then BB says, I would love to live in your beard. So yesterday I definitely laughed multiple times throughout the day out loud at this comment because it was amazing. You, sir or ma'am, win the day. You're more than welcome to come and live in my beard if you pay my salary so I can quit my day job, which will allow me to do YouTube full time and make you guys much more content. How does that sound? Make sure to leave a comment below to potentially be featured in the next video. Sub for more daily news like this, and then check out this video here from yesterday where I go over the Chiefs schedule in depth, give some predictions, and much more. So until next time, let's go. How about those